next greater element 1. So what this question asks, so basically we have given two arrays, nums1 and nums2, 4 1 and 2, and 1 3 4 2. So basically it is asking, like, for all these elements, like nums1 would be a subset of nums2. Basically nums2 is an array of different numbers, and nums1 contains some of those numbers from nums2. So basically it is asking, like, 4 is here, so it is asking that what is the next greater element of 4 in this nums2 array, and it is checking to the right of it. For example, if this is 4, we have to check from this position, we have to check to the right of it and check if there is a number which is greater than 4 or not. So for this we don't get a number greater than 4 because the next number is 2 and there are no other numbers, so we get -1 for that. Then we check for 1. 1 is over here, and 1 is over here. Then we have to check to the right of it, so the next greater element would be 3, so we have given 3 over here. Then we check for 2. Then if we check for 2, so basically there are no other elements to the right of it, so we get -1 for that. Okay, so now this example 2 comma 4 and 1 2 3 4, if I show it to you over here, just a second. Okay, so 2 comma 4, so here we have 2 comma 4, this is nums1 array, and nums2 array is, I guess it was 1 2 3 4, 1 2 3 4, yeah, 1 2 3 4. So what do we have to do? We have to go check for 2. First we are at 2, then we search where 2 is over here. 2 is over here, then we have to check that is there any element to the right of it which is greater than 2, and that is 3. So that is 3. So basically we are for 2 we get the corresponding answer 3. Then we check for 4. When we are at 4, we have to search 4 over here. Then we see if there's to the right of it there's a element which is greater than 4 or not. We see that there's no element which is greater than 4, so we return -1. So the answer we get for this question is 3 comma -1. Let's check if we are getting the question right. 3 comma -1. Perfect. So now we understood the question. So how can we solve this question? So first thing what I'm checking over here is that there's a number of steps involved in this question. First we have to iterate over here. First we look for 2, then we look for 4. Then if we are at 2, then we have to search where 2 it's or where 2 is or in this array. Then when we search 2 in this array, then we have to check, first we have to find the index of that 2. So first we have to locate 2 in this, and then we have to check key to the right of it is there any element or not. So first I will reduce this question. Okay, what I will do is for all these elements I would see the rightmost greater element for only this array. I'm not considering this array. So what I'm saying is I'm reducing the question to just one array, and that is 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4. That's it. Okay, just forget about nums1 array. Nums1 array contains some of the elements from this array only, so just ignore it for now. Okay, so now we are ignoring that nums1 array. Basically what I want is right now I want all the elements which are greater than these elements for each respective element. So for example, for this it would be -1, for this it would be 4, for this it would be 3, for this it would be 2. So basically what is this? These are the elements which are rightmost greater element for this index. So for this index 1, which contains value 1, the next greatest integer to the right of it is 2. And similarly for this index 2, which contains value 2, the rightmost number which is greater to this element is 3. Same goes for this element, and for 4 there is no more element to the right of it. So we get this answer. So how can we get this through code? So for this, let's try to use stack. Okay, you will get why we are using it after you understand it. So basically what I want is, I will remove this. So I have 1 2 3 4. Okay, now I'm making my stack over here. Okay, I will start from the end. So first I will insert 4. For this element, the stack is empty. So if the stack is empty, that means there's no element which is to the right of it, and there's no element which is greater than this 4. So I will just, and at the same time, when we are using map, and at the same time what we are doing is we are mapping this number, we are using a map at the same time as well. So here we are using a hash map also. Hash map, I will tell you why we are using it. Okay, so basically for 4, so for 4 I got that 4 should map to -1. So basically if I write -1 4 3 and 2, this was the answer array for the rightmost greatest element, right? So when I was pushing 4, then there was no element to the right of it, or I can say the stack was empty. So for that, basically I wrote 4 is mapping to -1. That means that 4 has no element greater than it. Then I will push 4 in this. I'm at this 4, I will push. Now there's 3. Now I can see 3 is smaller than this element at the top of the stack, which is at the top of the stack. 3 is smaller. So I know that this element would be the rightmost greatest element for 3. Okay, so what I will do is, in this map I will map 3 with top of the stack, that is 4. Then I will insert 2. Then I will go to 2. I can see, and before that I will push 3 also in this stack. Okay, now there's 2. Now for 2, I can see that 3, the top of the stack is greater than the element we are at now, we are present right now. So I can, the top of the element would be the rightmost greatest element for 2. So what I'm doing is, I will write over here, I will map 2 with 3, and again I will push 2 over here. Then I will go to 1, and again I can see 1 is smaller than the element over at the top of the stack. So 2 would be the rightmost greatest element for 1. So what I will do is, I will map 1 with 2, and this was the answer that I needed, that is 2 3 4 -1. And if you see, notice over here that where did it go? Okay, so this was the question, and I got this respective answer. So basically it was asking me for 2 comma 4, right? So if I see for mapping for 2, the answer is 3, and the map, we can see the 3 is over here, and for mapping for 4 was -1. So -1 is here, so we got 3 comma -1. So basically in the last, what do we have to do? We have to just return the mapping of the respective numbers which are present in nums1 array. Okay, now this is how the question can be solved. Let's take another example like this one, 412 and 1342. So first I told you to reduce the question to just single array, that is 1342. 1, I will use different color, just a second. Yeah, it's 1 comma 3 comma 4 comma 2. Here I was using my hash map. Okay, and here I'm using my stack. Perfect. So now when I'm at the I will start iterating from the last element. So when I'm start iterating from the last element, I am at 2 right now. So stack is empty. So if stack is empty, there's no element to the right of it. I can judge from that if the stack is empty. So what I will do is, I will map 2 with -1. because there's no element to the right of it. That means there's no sense of finding a number which is greater than this number to the right of it. So I mapped it at minus 1, and then what I do is I push 2, then I come at 4. Now I see that 4 is greater than 2. Okay, 4 is greater than 2. It is not smaller than 2, it is greater than 2. What were we doing previously in this one? When 4 was there, 3 was smaller, so we were pushing 3 also, and we could see that 3, the rightmost element, which is greater than the next rightmost element, which is greater than 3, is 4, which is the top of the element, and that's why we mapped 3 with 4. But in this case, what is happening, that 4 is greater than the top element, so I can judge that, and I can judge that there is no element which is greater than 4 to the right of it. Okay, because in this stack we are keeping the greatermost element only from the right side. So what I will do is, in this case, I will pop 2 and insert 4. Okay, and here I will map 4 with minus 1. What's the difference? Two approaches, guys, or two cases. One case was when this element is smaller than, I will remove this one, when I will remove this 3 also, just a second. Yeah, okay guys, two approaches. When we are at 3, we can see the top of the stack is 4. Now this 3 is smaller than the topmost element, that's why we are inserting it over here, and at the same time we are mapping it with the topmost element. That was the one case. The second case is that that just a second, it was something like this. First we wrote 2 in the stack, 2 was there, then this 4. Now I can see when we are at this 4, this 4 is greater than the topmost element. That means we have to pop this element, and we want 4 over here, and at the same time we are mapping 4 with minus 1, because there is no element. We have to pop one element to push this element. That's why there's no element greater than this. So for 4 we got minus 1. Then we have 3. When we are at 3, now we can see that 3 is smaller than this number. So when we insert 3, I can insert 3, and at the same time I can map 3 with 4. Yeah, and then when I go for 1, when I'm at 1, I will push 1 in here, and 1 is again smaller than this. Then the rightmost element which is greater than 3, or which is greater than 1, would be 3 only, and then I can map 1 with 3, topmost element. Okay, so I get this hash map, and let's see what are the nums to 4, 1 and 2. So we what I told you, basically we have to get the mapping of this 4, 1 and 2. That is 4, 1 and 2, that is minus 1, 3 and minus 1, minus 1, 3 and minus 1. Perfect. So this is how the question should be done. Okay, now let me take another example for this to make you understand more clear. So basically, if I want to take another example, I would be taking like 5. Just a second. What example should I take? If I take 5, 7, 6, 8, then I want to keep just a second. If I take 3 here, not 3, if I take 9, and here I'm taking 10. Okay, this is one example. So what I will do over here is I will again make my hash map, and here I would be making my stack. I would be starting with 10. I'm here. I will push 10 over here. Then I will be mapping 10 with -1 because there's no element to the right of it which is greater than that. Then I'm at 5. I can see 5 is smaller than 10. 5 is smaller than 10, right? So I can push 5 over here, and then at the same time I will be writing 5 over here and mapping it with the topmost element, that is 10. Then I have 7. Now I can see 7 is, when I'm at 7 is greater than 5, so I have to pop 5. Then 7 is not greater than 10. So guys, basically I have to keep popping till I get a greater element from a greater element than that number, or the stack is empty. If the stack is empty, then it's -1. If I get some element which is greater than that, then I have to map that element with that number. So for this 7, for the 7, I will push 7 over here and I will map 7 with 10. Okay, now this 6 is smaller than 7, so I can push it and I have to just map it with the topmost element, which is 7. Then I'm at 8. Now 8 is greater than 6, so I have to pop 6. 8 is greater than 7, I have to pop 7. 8 is not greater than 10, so if I push 8 over here, I have to map 8 with 10. And then I have 9. If I put 9 over here, so now I'm at 9. Now 9 is greater than 8, so I have to pop 8, obviously. And 9 is not greater than 10, so I will push 9 and I will map 9 with 10. Okay, so this is the answer we got through our algorithm. Let's check if it is correct or not. For 10 it should be -1. For 5, the rightmost element greater than 5 is 10. For 7, again 10. For 6 it is 7. For 8 it is 10. And for 9 again it is 10. Perfect. So this was the working of the code. Okay, so now before jumping to the code, what I want to explain you is the functions what we are using. Basically, one, for the first rightmost element we are mapping it with -1. Okay, other than that, what's the condition in that is that the stack is empty when we are pushing that element. When we want to push 10, at that point if stack is empty, then that means its mapping should be -1. First thing. Second thing, if we push an element and the top element is smaller, top element is greater than that, so we can just push that element and we can map that element with that top element. Okay, second thing. And the third thing is, if that element is greater than, like for example, if just a second, if I erase it, this. Okay, so if I was at 10, then I was putting 5 over here. Then for 7, if 7 is greater than this element, then we have to keep popping those elements till either the stack is empty or we get to an element which is greater than that element, so when 7 is there, the top of the stack is 5. 5 is smaller than 7, so we have to pop 5. And when if 10 is greater than that element, so we can stop at that point. And we stopped at that point, and then what we have to do, we just have to push that element and we have to map it with 10. So 3 things we are doing. Perfect. Now we can jump to the code. Okay, so stack, I want a stack, it would be a in stack. I'm naming my stack only. Then what do I want? For I equals to, I told you to forget nums1 for now, so for I equals to nums2 dot size minus 1, I should be greater than equal to 0, I minus minus. Okay, I starting from that, I should be greater than equals to 0, I minus minus. Then what do we have to do is if, okay, at the same time we want a hash map also, so I'm writing map, it was int to int, and I'm naming it map only. So I'm saying if stack dot empty, if stack is empty, then I have to map this element, which is nums2 I to minus 1. Okay, to minus 1 if stack is empty. And oh, it is okay, just a second, I'm refreshing this. Oh, I don't want my progress to be lost. Perfect. So yeah, now it's better. Map, and at the same time, what do I want? I want to push that element in the map stack also. So stack dot push that element, that is nums2 I. Perfect. If stack is empty. Okay, and if else if that element nums2 I is less than, if it is less than stack dot top, then what do I want? I want to map that element nums2 I with top of the stack dot top, and then I want to push stack dot push nums2 I. Okay, else if, now basically if it is less than, now if it is greater than that element, else if, oh, let me check, without duplicates. So I was just confused that should I write because one condition is less than, other condition is greater than, and the third condition would be equal to. So I just saw that there is without duplicate, so there is no point that there would be 1 comma 2 comma 2, so there is no need to write double equal to. So else if I can write nums2 I is greater than stack dot top if that element is greater than stack dot top. So I told you while stack dot empty, while the stack is not empty, and stack dot top is greater than, oh no, it's less than nums2 I stack dot pop. So this is the popping operation. So when I told you over here that when we have to put 7 over here, 5 was here, then we have to put 7 over here, so I will pop this 5. Okay, I will keep popping till I reach an element which is greater than that 7 or the stack is empty. Okay, so stack dot pop. So this is done. Okay, now basically, yeah, perfect, that's it. It would either lie in this condition, in this condition, or this condition. Okay, so here my for loop ends. Now coming to the answer, what answer it requires? It requires a vector int answer. So I'm making a vector of int, and I'm answer equals to 0. That's it, vector int answer. And then I'm writing over here for int I equals to 0, I should be less than nums1. So here the nums1 comes into play, nums1 dot size I plus plus, and basically what I want is answer dot push push back. Answer is my vector array. It's my vector array, right? Yeah. Answer dot push back. Here I want map of nums one of I, and in the last I want to return answer. Whew. Let's run this and let's see if it works. Okay, there's an error. Where's the error? Oh, this one. Oh, there was typo and I. Let's check. I guess we are almost correct. Nums2 dot size. Use of undeclared identifier nums. Acha, num2. I have written num2 by mistake. It should be nums2. Again, silly mistake. Num1. Where is it? Nums1. Okay, so for this I'm getting 0, 3 and -1. Oh, I should have been getting -1 over here. So what did I do wrong? Map it to -1 if stack dot empty. Yeah, what I can do is, rather than starting from here, okay, what was the mistake? I forgot. Sorry for that. Okay, it's 0 over here. So it is, why is it showing me 0? From where is this 0 coming? 0, 0, 0. For our rest of the answer is correct, but just for the first element it is wrong. So what can I do for this? I can just do it like this: stack dot push nums2 dot size. Before getting into the loop, I'm already pushing that last element inside the stack, and what am I doing over here? I should be starting from the second last element, and at the same time what do I want to do over here is map nums2 dot size. It's the last element with -1. So my first element was wrong, right? So let's see. Still it is giving me. So 4. Achha, this is not the mistake that I. Okay, this is not needed. I was thinking in the opposite direction. No, this is not needed. Okay, so it's still there. Okay, what did I do now? Achha, I just pressed Control C. That's why it removed that S also. Let's see, we will debug it, no worries. 0, 3 and -1. So for this 4 I'm getting 0. For 2, okay, so while stack is empty and stack.pop if it is not empty, else if, okay, and then at the same time, okay, at this point I have to stack.push nums2 of I. Basically we were popping those element, and after popping we have to push that element also. So that was the mistake, I guess. Yeah. Okay, still it is not working. But where is this 0 coming from? I don't understand why is this 0 coming from. Basically we are mapping at two positions, this position, this position. If the stack dot empty, then it should be -1 coming from here. So what is happening? Let me check. If I try then this, it is equals to 0, nums dot size -1. I starting from that position. Okay, at that position the stack is empty, so it is giving me -1. If I iterate over the map, answer or pushback nums1 for 4, how can we get 0 for any number? Because we are not mapping any number with 0. Why are we getting this 0? This 0 we are getting for 4. So 4 is getting mapped with 0, but 4 should get mapped with minus 1. So let's check what are we doing wrong over here. Okay, so how do we debug these kind of situations? So I can see that 4 is getting mapped with 0, but there's no but it should be mapped with minus 1. So what would be happening? So for here, first we would be inserting 2 in the stack, then for 4 we will be popping 2. So when the 4 is there, we will be it would be jumping over here. 4 is greater than stack dot top. So while the stack is empty and stack dot top is less than nums to I, so both this situation is there, we are popping those elements. We will keep popping, and if the stack is empty, then the 4 is inserted. Okay, silly me. At this point it should be okay, so I got the mistake. Here it should be stack.pop if stack dot empty. If stack is empty now, then that means, what does that means? If stack is empty right now, then that means that we have to map this element stack dot map map nums to I, and we have to stack dot push nums to I if stack is empty. Else, if it is not empty, that means we have got a greater element. We have to do stack dot push nums to I and map nums to I with stack dot top. Finally it got accepted. Now let's submit and let's see if it is working for all the test cases or not. No. So why are we getting this error? Basically 7 for 4, it should be 7. Our output is 73524. It's really weird output. Oh, it shouldn't be like that. We keep popping it. So at that point, basically what changes we did was absolutely right, because we needed that. We will keep popping it. We will keep popping it, and if the stack is empty, then we are mapping it with -1, and if it is not empty, then we are mapping it with the topmost element. Okay, so for this, if this is our second array, so first 7 would be there, then 1 would be there, then 1 would get popped and 2 would be there, and 2 would be there. For 4 it should be 7. Okay, just a second. For 1 it should be 7, so for that we are getting 7. Okay, then for 3 it should be 7, obviously, and for no, sorry, for 1 it would be 7. Okay, 7. Then for 3 it should be 7 only, but we are getting 3 only over here. 3524. Okay, we are 5, we are getting this 3524. Just a second. Oof. So 7 is there, so 7 we mapped with -1. 7 is mapped with -1. Let me check the map in this case. What is the map? Answer dot pushback. Okay, for auto it map see out it first. I'm giving some space. It second, and it Is it dot first, it dot second? Okay, so the running code is okay. Basically what I did was, this was to check how is my map working. So for my map is 1 is mapping with 7, 2 is mapping with 2, and that's it. No, sorry. Okay, how can I increase? Okay, 1 is mapping with 7, that is right. 2 is mapping with 2, then all the elements are mapping with those elements only. Okay, 7 is mapping with, so 7 is right, and for this 1 is right, then 2 is mapping with 2 only. So what are we doing wrong over here? So at some point we are basically keep inserting those elements, and that element, uh, if it's less than, if it's greater than, okay, that's okay. 1 is there, then 7 is there, then 2 is there, then 2 we should pop stack dot top is less than nums to I. When nums to I is greater than, so 7 stack dot pop. Even if one of the condition is not working, then we shouldn't pop, right? So yeah, that is okay. Stack dot top nums to I, then 2 is, so it will stop if stack is empty. Stack is not empty, else stack dot push nums to I. So I pushed 2 and I mapped. Okay, got the mistake. This is a very silly mistake. I have to put this above this. Yeah. Okay, so basically what I was doing, I was inserting 2 also, and then I was mapping 2 with the top of the element, and that is 2. So before inserting I have to map, and then we have to insert. That was a very silly mistake. Oof, finally. So this is how you solve next greater element, guys. This is a very good question, and it has come in a lot of interviews. And finally, if you understood this question, you can hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, so that all of your peers could also see the solution. And thank you for staying with me for so long. Perfect. Bye bye.